Ladies and gentlemen, hope you all are enjoying the content shared by our experts. Don't forget to share your feedback at the end of the event. Now let's move to another set of parallel tracks. In track 1, there's a panel discussion on reimagining tech for education in the post-COVID world, moderated by T. Radhakrishna. In track 2, there's a panel discussion on securing digital frontier of India in new normal, moderated by Mohammad Ujale, Senior Special Correspondent, ETGovernment. Platform is all yours, Ujale and Radhakrishna.
Hi, welcome to today's panel discussion on reimagining technology for education in post-COVID world. I'm joined by esteemed panelist, Mr. Satish Chandra, IAS, Special Chief Secretary of Department of Higher Education from Government of Andhra Pradesh, Aparna Arora, IAS, Secretary, Department of School Education and Bhasha from Government of Rajasthan, Dr. K. Kajal, IAS, Special Secretary, Department of Basic Education from Government of Andhra Pradesh, and Ms. Anju Sharma, IAS, Principal Secretary, Higher and Technical Education from Government of Gujarat. Dr. Satish Chandra, welcome to the panel discussion, sir. My first question to you, Andhra Pradesh has adopted blended learning already. You have many plans to support students with the laptops and broadband connectivity also. How your plans are shaping up right now?
See, we have taken a decision to provide laptops to all the students pursuing degree courses, both technical and non-technical. We have finalized the specifications for the laptops. So the professional courses, technical courses, the specification will be different. And for general degree courses, the specifications will be little different. And now we are going to float a RFP to procure these laptops. In fact, we are going to give laptops right from class 9, 10, 11, 12 and degree courses. So that is our scheme. And this 6 months we will take in procurement, and after that they will be provided with the laptops. That is a big boost. And Andhra, as you know, the connectivity is quite good, except our tribal areas in the state. Other areas, by and large, the speed and all is good. So connectivity problems are not many.
Thank you, Mr. Satish Chandra. Ma'am, Aparna Arora, welcome to the panel discussion, ma'am. Ma'am, what are your administrative measures that you have taken to enable continuity in education during COVID-19 lockdown and thereafter, if you can?
Well, I'll just take a few minutes to tell you all about how Government of Rajasthan School Education Department went on about to maintain the connect with our students.
Please, ma'am.
We just to tell you about a holistic view, we have about 66,000 plus schools from primary level to senior secondary, almost 4 lakh teacher cadre, and so it was a huge, and about 80 lakhs plus students enrolled in our schools. So it was a huge task, no doubt. It was quite daunting, but I think we did start with a few initiatives which went on, well, to connect the students with us. And for that, we used digital platforms. We created WhatsApp groups right from the student to the teachers to the students. And then we created student profile for each school. And then where, homeworks were circulated through WhatsApp group and then they were submitted. The teachers also went around to the, if it's smaller children, they went to their houses, and so that the connect remains. And another thing we did, we have a platform, that social media platform we created on Smile, where our e-content from 6th to 10th, we had created content for all the subjects and classes, and it was uploaded, and it was viewed by the children on YouTube. Though we are not that much connected, the connectivity is not very good, and the access was an issue for the children. but still we were able to touch about 30 to 40% of the students through this.
Dr. Kajal, welcome to the panel discussion, ma'am. What has been experience of Uttar Pradesh in dealing with the primary and secondary education, especially which is badly hit during the COVID-19 pandemic?
Thank you for your question and good evening to all my colleagues. As a secretary, basic education, I would say that government of UP has similar kind of experience as Madam has already told about Rajasthan. So I would say the most hit has been taken on by the primary students. It's the foundational learning when the kids go to school, not just they learn about this subjects, but there is so many other things that they can learn from their peers groups and other activities. So that's a foundation time, and I believe that they have taken the worst hit during this COVID pandemic. And we also did something similar, like initially when as the lockdown happened. So during that time, there was a strategy that there will be a content delivery, which we started through WhatsApp and the Doordarshan. We had taken the 4-hour slot per day, which was purchased by the department, and we were giving 30 minutes time to different grades. But the experience came out that not many viewers are viewing this online, and we also understood that hardly it was like 20% people, 1 lakh views we were seeing. The target audience was not reached completely. So we learned from our own experience, and there was not a synchronous effort. Like there were like different subjects taught, and there was like there was no congruity during teaching. The approach had to be changed. So at that time we learned from that. We revived our strategy, went for e-Pathshala 2.0, which we say by September times, and from then we started focusing more on the WhatsApp group and started involving the parents through teachers, and they were like called in the schools, and then they were told like what needs to be done given the learning outcomes that we really want to have with the kids. So all those things were given, and every week they were like they were given, and they were told like how to go about it so that they can now go properly and convey to the kids. And as Madam said, we also reached up to 40% of the target audience, and this went pretty well because WhatsApp groups were created, and now everybody is being in touch. At least one WhatsApp group is there with the students and teachers in every school. All those things were happening, and now recently we have ordered schools to be reopened, and they for this all till 8th standard. Our strategy is now to give an accelerated kind of 100-day campaign, which we will start, because we understand that kids have lost a lot during this past few months. So we would like to focus more on the content, the quality, and see where they are right now, map them, and then take them to their learning goals where they should be by the end of the year. So we are working on those lines.
Over to Mr. Satish Chandra. Sir, there has been a lot of commentary on quality of education imparted via virtual mode. In your view, how can the quality be improved?
See, actually, during the lockdown, we also did like others, the online classes. But problem is the devices. The students don't have devices. And then delivery, even teachers were also having problems. So we overcome at least teachers' problems by giving them laptops and some kind of things. But the student we couldn't. That's why we thought of giving them now laptops. So, but we did a lot of online classes during this time. But after that, from 2nd November, we started physical classes in all the universities, because I look after higher education. So from 2nd November, what we told our universities that you call 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 in 3 spells. So a period of 6 months, in fact 5 months or so, 45 days or so, you call 2nd year, 3rd year after that, and 4th year, so that at a time you have 1/3 of the students physically available and 2/3 will be online. So 1/3 we taught them offline and 2/3 online. So this is how we dealt with them. So now in this way, in fact, for senior classes, that is second year, third year, fourth year for the professional courses, and second year, third year for the general courses. The first semester is over. Now exams are going on, and we'll start second semester in let's say from 15th March or so. So this is what you have done. But first year admissions got delayed in our case also because of logistics. So first year also from January we have started all courses, engineering first year and general degree also first year classes have started. So it will, that first year completion will take some time, but we having experienced all these things, we are now establishing the studios also in some of the universities, so that the recording of the classes can take place, and then that recorded lecture can be sent to the students through some media, through WhatsApp or whatever system they can have, so thereby we can make content available to them.
Here I would like to put in that higher education school colleges are a bit different from schools, and schools it was a real challenge. And
Yes.
the basic challenge, as Dr. Kajal was also saying, was that how to make the keep the children engaged in the studies, because otherwise once the learning breaks, then the grade, we miss a grade, and that learning gap has to be covered. So we are also deliberating, and we are having assessment all across the grades, so that just to assess the gap in learning for school education from primary to secondary as well. And then we are also focusing a lot on remedial workbooks assessment, just to see how the children, their grade gaps can be mitigated. And when we start with the new session, we'll be, I think, having a 60-day, just focusing on remedial coaching and learning for the children, just to see that they don't miss, the gaps don't increase for the grade learnings. And I guess this digital thing, we are more focusing not on individual laptops for the students, because in any case, we have a huge number of students, and connectivity is also an issue in parts of Rajasthan, western and southern Rajasthan. So we are more focusing on smart classrooms. So our Honorable CM has announced also that we want to cover all our secondary and senior secondary schools for establishing smart classroom. And we already have a e-content for all the subjects and classes developed. So we are going to push that mode for digital learning for the children.
Dr. Kajal, what has been your experience, especially on quality of education imparted via virtual mode? Your views, please.
We understand there has been many challenges, and to improve the content, and it's very important that the quality be assured. We have run a Vidya Dan program where what we did was a crowdsourcing of good content from different teachers, organizations, academicians, and students. So now we have like 5K plus content videos now which are being run on Bhasha. We have a Diksha, this thing, and WhatsApp groups. Also, we have created content cell at the state level of teachers who are daily working on this content validation, and we are working on improving the stuff, and also they are equipped with the modern tools, and we have created 2 good studios, so it would help them like in making this whole thing very like of good quality. And also we would also love to have smart classes in all the schools, so that we can have that kind of scaffolding ecosystem where all the schools get over with the devices problems and all. So we are working on that, and we have issued guidelines that students should have the coherent access, and also the do's and don'ts for the online content creation, dissemination, and adoption of these things. In fact, I would say this pandemic has really pushed us to work and review on the content wise, and it's a silver lining. And also we are doing this QR coding of our textbooks now, and thus we are being energized on that front, I would say.
Mr. Satish Chandra, going forward, how do you see the role of technology changing for the education sector in the post-COVID world? What is your view?
This some kind or the other pandemic is going to continue in this globe. So we can't overcome all those things. So we have to learn to live with that, and we have to necessarily use technology, and we have to ensure the availability of devices and also facilities in the universities, colleges to teach, online, offline, both in a blended mode, and content development has to take place. In fact, all central government should come forward, and they can do this content development, at least for higher education, even for elementary or higher education, this school education, they can do it. But most of the schools, they follow NCRT syllabus and NCRT books. They can develop the content, they can have audios, videos, and they can make it available through their systems. That can be one part. States also, on their part, we need to develop the technology, and use of technology in education is a must.
I'll go to Aparna, ma'am. Ma'am, what is your view on the role of technology changing for the education sector going forward?
Well, I already spoke about it, and as Sir was also saying, this is going to stay. And it was a huge opportunity for the department to come up, and we really took the challenge. I think all the states really rose up to the occasion, and we have been, working so that the students are connected, be it WhatsApp group, be it, we had launched a campaign called Aao Ghar Se Seekhe, and that really took off well, which I was mentioning, that homework was given, and the teachers used to visit. They were allocated areas, where they had to go and meet the children. And also some of the bored children, we kept calling them once a week, even in these times, so that just for doubt clearances for the last 3-4 months, they were coming. And we also use them as mentee, for mentor for, the children, their siblings and all. And technology is going to stay. And as we had mentioned earlier also, blended learning is the new way for it, where we go for our textbooks, our workbooks, as well as smart classroom, our digital platforms, even the teachers training. I think all the states must have done it. We had to do it in online mode under Nishtha, and it is quite a good experience. And it was, I think people rose up to the occasion, and it went off well, and we have had very good feedbacks for that. And we have, the state of Rajasthan has also documented the whole process in Corona times, how we did the study management for the children, and we'll be sharing it soon. And it was very enthusiastic. Even the parents, as Kajal was also mentioning, the parents were also very enthused, and we've got where they also used to come, and it was like a learning for the parents and the children as well. And it was a very good experience, I guess.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Kajal, your take on the quality of education, technology role?
Yeah, the role of technology, as Sir has already mentioned, we have to now accept it like this is the way forward, and it's a kind of blessing in disguise that COVID has pushed all of us, and we have started looking into that direction now. So, but at the same time, I believe that technology is rapidly changing. It's a very fast change in technology. What existed a decade before is not at all useful in the current decade, right? That's how it goes. So I believe we really need to look into our curriculums, see what we are teaching, whether it is going to be useful after 2 decades for the kids or not. Like, those kind of thinking needs to come in right now, because the world is changing, everything is going on so fast. So that is something I believe, that there is a good side to the technology, as well as like its flaws. Like, it's something like a challenge that I would say that comes with adopting a technology, right? So that is something we have to see and balance both sides, and provide our students so that they can be able to live with the requirements of the society at that point of time, which is then expected from them. So that is something I would think from the government side, that we really need to start putting our minds onto that. And as Sir said, maybe Government of India can come forward and think on those lines. And it's easy then every state to can easily adopt all those measures and everybody is in a coherent way working together. So that is something, that's my personal take on, using technology and how we need to handle it in the times to come. Yeah.
Sir, what is your take on National Education Policy 2020 announced by Government of India? How Andhra Pradesh is aligning with that, and when are you going to implement the process?
See, the NEP, National Education Policy of 2020, is the best policy evolved by Government of India. We all welcome it. It's a step in a very right direction. And see, many far-reaching things they have talked. In fact, degree course also, they have given an option. It can be 4-year course with the option of the 4th year, concentrating on the research. And if you do graduation of 4 years, then PG can be only 1 year. In fact, we have implemented this particular thing from this academic year, 2021. We are now offering a 4-year course, degree course, with an exit option. So if he exits after 3 years, he will be given normal degree. And if he completes full 4 years, then we are giving honors degree. What Government of India has mentioned that. Secondly, they are talking of embedded internship program or apprenticeship program within the degree program. So that is also, we started from this year the 10 months internship. That is after first year during the summer break 2 months, second year summer break 2 months, and the final year 1 full semester is earmarked for internship, apprenticeship for each student. So that also we have implemented. Then thirdly, they are talking about multidisciplinary universities. So they don't want IITs, IIMs, they are deemed universities concentrating only on single thing of technology. So they are talking about a university should have all the subjects, multidisciplinary. So even students also, they should not confine themselves to, let's say, a person has taken admission in civil engineering. He should not earn credits only in the subjects related to civil engineering. He can do courses in humanities, in psychology, sociology, management, or many other subjects. So that when he comes out of the college or university, he is more of a holistic person and his overall development takes place. So that also they are talking. The third thing they are saying, university should be huge, like minimum 3,000 students and access. They say that each district you should have one university. Now this is what we have done in Andhra. Each district we have a university, state funded university, and our now attempt is to make them bigger one, because older universities like Andhra University, I am having 16,000 students within the campus. So other universities, we have to take them to that level. So even it stresses on Indian culture, Indian ethos, Indian values. So very good thought has gone into the conceptualization and formally notifying the new education policy. We all welcome it.
Ma'am Anju Sharma, IAS Principal Secretary, Higher Education and Technical Education, Government of Gujarat. What are the administrative measures you have taken to enable continuity in education during COVID-19 lockdown and thereafter, if you can?
See, COVID has been very challenging for all of us. And I would say that we're still post-COVID. It would be too early to call this period as post-COVID. Post-COVID is yet to come because schools and colleges have not fully opened. We are not yet into the non-masked and non-social distancing mode. So maybe you can say that it is some relaxed COVID or something like that, but not post-COVID at all. COVID brought before us a large number of challenges, which was hitherto unheard, unthought of all of by us. And for the education system, it came as a big jolt initially. And when COVID came and we all realized that now the schools and colleges have to close down, initially it was difficult to understand how to now do it and what to do. But one interesting thing is that technology was there to help us. And because of whatever we've been doing in technology, and one advantage that we had is that we've been taking up a lot of interventions in technology. Like we had given tablets to all our first year students for the last 3 years. So virtually all the UG students had tablets. So it was not difficult for us to get into the technology mode because we had a lot of online interventions also going on. So the adoption of those interventions was slightly slow because the entire post-COVID thing proved to us that necessity is a mother of invention, but here necessity was more a mother of adoption. Something which was lying all around us, we were not adopting it, like video conferencing, webinars. We used to feel very hesitant doing webinars, Skyping, video talking, video chatting, and things which we could very easily do on video. We were not doing it on video, and most of us were avoiding it. And when this whole thing came, we immediately switched over to the video mode, the online mode. As a result of which, I would say that Gujarat is one state. I don't know about other states that I've heard, but at least I know of my state, is that we have not lost a single semester. And we have been able to have the admissions on time. Even the technical admissions, professional admissions got delayed, not because of us, but because of the CBSE and ICSE results. We had to wait for CBSE, ICSE results because we have a combined merit. That Gujarat board could declare its results in June itself. And all the other admissions where the CBSE was not an issue, we blocked 10% for, we left aside 10% for CBSE and we proceeded ahead with the admissions, where merit was not a big issue. But in professional admissions, since we have a system of good set and a system of, having a combined merit on that basis, we had to delay the whole thing. But even despite that, we could start the first semester. We continued the ongoing semesters from 22nd of June itself. Our semester started on 22nd of June. Actually, the stipulated time was 6th of June, and we started on 22nd of June. So that was the only difference. Okay. And we continued all the education in online mode. Yes, there were challenges. We could not do practicals. We could not do a lot of discussions and all that. But then came up, we gradually opened final year, and then we opened, in fact, before even the UGC announcement came, we opened the PG and the practicals. And then we opened final year and then first year. That apart, now even the second years are still at home receiving online education because we don't have hostel capacities to that extent that we can give them separate rooms. So what I'm trying to say is that COVID has brought before us a large number of things, because every challenge is an opportunity, and every setback is also an opportunity. So a large number of things which were lying under the wraps, they came out, and we became more receptive to accepting them. So the e-content, the online education, simpler things can now move on to the online education, where the content is not very abstract, where it does not require much of discussion. It can very easily move in the online format. And we will, in the post-COVID phase, move into a blended learning kind of a model, where things that can be done online through videos will be done online, and things that can be done, that have to be done physically, like practicals and like elaborate sessions that require discussions and group discussions and teamwork and all that, that will be done physically. So that will reduce the cost. Not only that, just understand the beauty of online learning, which we were exposed to during the COVID times, is that something like, having a guest lecture from somebody sitting in US. Earlier, what we used to do is that we would get the person for talking for 1 hour. We would pay that much. We would get the person. He won't give the time, won't have the time, because that person has to waste 3 to 4 days in coming here, delivering that lecture. Now it became so easy. Just contact them, they slot you, they deliver the lecture online, and their time is saved, your time is saved. So the internationalization of students and a level field, building up a level field in education has become so easy. Standardization of education has become so easy. You don't have internal resources in faculty, it's very easy to access the outside resources. And at that too at a very low price. At very low, not price, but at cost, low cost. So these kind of solutions, they started coming in. And that's going to help the education world a lot. Not only that, you look at the way edutech has grown in the last few months, applications combined with learning formats, combined with application of artificial intelligence and learner feedbacks, and combined with various models of learning. It's really exposing the entire student community to a whole new world of learning, which was there. It was just like a cover, a bundle that was there, which was not opened. And now it has been opened, and so much is coming out of it. And so many apps that are coming up, so many learning platforms that are coming up. So that wonder has happened. And this thing, it's like that. This thing is going to continue. I'm not saying that online would or should replace physical education. It should not, because online is like online. You cannot learn cricket online. You have to actually go in the field and play cricket for learning cricket. Similarly, the physical education importance remains. You have to be in the school, you have to be in the college. But at the same time, a lot of things can go online. A lot of interesting ways of pedagogy, interesting ways of teaching. Pedagogy would change. And this is all going to be the new post-COVID world that we're going to see now in the coming times. Another very important thing that I would like to emphasize here is that this is going to put India's educational institutions at par with the international institutions. And access to international standards is now easier. Another very important thing, which is of course not directly connected to education, is that people for the first time have understood the importance of well-being, importance of staying tidy, importance of keeping their surroundings clean, and the importance of maintaining a healthy and clean environment, which is going to help us a lot in the coming years. So that's how I see the technology influencing our lives in the coming years.
Are you giving devices to your students like Tamil Nadu government and Andhra government are proposing to do that?
Yeah, so that's what I told you, that we gave tablets to our students in 2017, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20.
Okay.
And because of that, it became so easy for us, because we had already given tablets to more than 10 lakh people, 10 lakh students. And all these students had tablets. So online education became very easy for us, because we had later on also, because we had Wi-Fi, we had given Wi-Fi in colleges. We would call the teachers over there. See, UGC kept on saying that give teachers work from home, give teachers work from home, but we gave them only till August. September, since all the offices had opened, we asked the teachers to come to college, hold their classes, and broadcast their lecture online. And the teachers were doing that. So yes, certainly devices we have given. Yeah.
Ma'am, there has been a lot of commentary on quality of education imparted via virtual mode. In your view, how can the quality be improved?
So that's what I told you. You see, online education has its own constraints, and online education cannot replace education in physical mode. It has its constraints in the sense that it is, number one, very difficult to maintain attention span online. You cannot maintain a very long attention span. Second problem that comes is that you cannot interact with each other. It's mostly one like interaction. There cannot be a discussion. It's not very easy to have a discussion amongst 30, 35, 40 people online. So the quality of education is certainly bound to suffer. And more so, education is not just learning something, just learning, it's going through a chapter or learning something. It's more interactive process of personality development. That does not happen online. There are certain things that can be taught online. There are certain things that cannot be taught online. So what we have to, but online has its own advantages in terms of cost, in terms of numbers. You can access a large number at the same time, so your cost gets reduced. Accessibility. So we have to combine the both and get into a blended mode.
Ma'am, with your permission, I would like to take final words from the today's guest speakers. Mr. Satish Chandra, your final words on the blended learning, sir.
Blended learning is the order of the day. We have to live with it, and we should encourage it, and we should strengthen it by use of technology. And Gujarat has done wonderful work. They already given the tabs to all the students. So we are also in the process of giving the laptops to our students, and thereby the things can be taken care of. Devices to the students, devices to the teachers, and the facility for recording lectures, preparation of the e-content. Okay, all these things we need to do, and also the media, the connectivity, throughout the country. Problems are there in different states, different regions. So this connectivity problem can be sorted out by Government of India only. So every nook and corner of this country must have the internet connectivity with good speed, and then only online learning can become a reality. That is one very, very important aspect of the online learning. Third thing is, the institutions of the education should adopt automation in every aspect, be it admission, be it examination, be it, affiliation of the institutions by the universities, be it human capital management. So everywhere we should automate, digitize the systems, make things paperless. And also, like in offices, we are having e-office. Similarly, in educational institutions also, we must implement e-office. All decision making should be online without involvement of any physical paper. That's the way we should look at it.
Thank you very much, sir. Dr. Kajal, may I seek your final words on the National Education Policy 2020?
We have already started, like adopting to the national education policy, which is a welcome step. And we all know that the challenges that we had, having a Anganwadi system and then, coming into the school system. So there is a kind of a gap. Now, if any, like under national education policy, we all understand that they have focused on the criticality of those years when there is a foundational learning, right? So that is something we are now focusing upon. The state is very keen to now, bring everything together and make it more streamlined. And then also, giving that holistic learning, that NCRT has to be adopted, but at the same time, the state should, have their own culture, language, everything to be incorporated. So we have started working on those lines as well, and giving that foundational literacy, that numeracy, literacy and new curriculums, pedagogical structures, digitalization of the content, training of the teachers, everything like that has been mentioned. We have now started, creating those kind of, apps and everything by which this NEP can turn into a reality. So I would say, yes, it's a very, very welcome step, and we really needed to align. And as Madam already explained in a very good way, like how we can have a blended learning, and both offline and online, those things are required where we can save time and cost. Online is definitely something that we should look into. At the same time, as I mentioned before, there is much more that students learn in a school, not just the subjects and mastery of their subjects, but other than that, discipline and, having that peer network, learning a lot from your environment, that I would say that you're providing to these kids. So that's how it goes. We need to have that kind of blended approach, and I believe COVID has actually pushed us in that sense, like that we have started looking into it. And again, it's not just in the education system. Overall, I believe that the government departments, the ministries, everybody has taken a big turn, and everybody has moved on to this adoption of technology in a very, very quick span of time, which is a welcome thing. So at the end, I would just thank everybody for sharing their views, and thank you all for organizing this event, and thank you for having me. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kajal. With this, I sincerely thank our esteemed panelists today, part of the panel discussion on reimagining technology for education post-COVID world. And I sincerely thank Mr. Satish Chandra, IAS, Special Chief Secretary, Department of Higher Education from Government of Andhra Pradesh, Ma'am Anju Sharma, IAS, Principal Secretary, Higher and Technical Education from Government of Gujarat, and Ma'am Aparna Arora, IAS, Secretary, Department of School Education and Bhasha from Government of Rajasthan, Dr. K. Kajal, IAS, Special Secretary, Department of Basic Education from Government of Uttar Pradesh. I sincerely thank you for participating in the panel discussion today, part of National Governance Virtual Summit. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for sharing your expert advice with our audience. Ladies and gentlemen, keep sharing your learnings on social media using the hashtag ETNGVS.